I am kind of from the client side, came into the agency about 7 years ago, and really am more responsible for the operations of getting the product through the system. Jonna Jackson is a senior vice president, and she's in account service. So she's going to be watching your presentations from a strategic standpoint and what your marketing message is, and provide some input for you. And Jonna, you've been here for, you're not telling?
20 years.
20 years. Jonna was my account executive when I was a client. And we hit it off really well because she knew she could call me at 7:30 at night and I'd still be at work, which is unusual for a client.
Right.
Liz Taylor. Liz, you've been here almost a year now.
A little over a year.
Oh, really? You have vacation time.
Yay! I'm really excited about that.
Liz is also an account service, and she's on the, she works with Melanie Hill, who is the managing director of this office. So I thought it would be good to have her perspective as well. Steve Elmore, who's on the phone. Steve is Senior Vice President and Associate Creative Director, and Steve does, gosh, and by the way, Steve Elmore is not my husband, he's not my brother.
Never have been a husband.
Never had a husband.
We just happen to have the same last name.
Hey, thanks for clearing that up.
Well, it is a mystery throughout the agency, you know. Steve is an art director with many years of experience, and Steve is one of those that has kind of taken hold of a number of different projects, and he's learned how to do all kinds of fabulous things, and created kind of a unique position for himself that he does a lot of broadcast design, animation, but he also does print, so he'll be here to give you a creative perspective. And I just wanted you to know who the players are, and we'll give you, what is it, James, 20 minutes to
20.
You want to present, and your assignment was to come up with a creative campaign for My First Sleep Pad. Good, nobody went, oh my God, that's not what I thought it was. So with that, I'll turn it over to our first team.
I'm going to move right here.
Okay,
Over
that's
there.
good.
This would be the green team.
The green team.
Okay, well, good morning. We're glad to be here, and probably more nervous than we need to be. But here are our, I guess, follow-along information, just so whenever we're talking, might be helpful. My name is Jill Gibson. This is Caroline Christ, Scott Kimray, John Baker, Martin. Sorry, I'm nervous, and Matt Acey. We chose to go with the theme or the slogan of activate your child's mind. We decided to go with this because we felt the target market that we were told that the Leap Pad's trying to reach is mothers that are and parents that are and people that would be buying for 3 to 5 year olds that would pertain to this product. Concern for education, as well as making it fun and interactive, and so we were trying to target reach the parents first, and then visually we incorporated the swirl that you see on most everything for kids, for fun, to show activity, to show to draw you into the project or to the product that we did. I guess we could start with our first commercial. John.
All right. We did 2 commercials in our campaign, and the first one.
You might start there and then hand it to them so they can see.
Okay. First commercial consists of, we wanted to show activation, we wanted to show no fun with other toys, and we wanted to show interest in the Leap Pad himself. So we started out with a child sitting on the stairs, bored, nothing to do, sitting there, can't think of anything to do. Right there. In the next scene, he sprints up and runs upstairs real fast. And Flight of the Bumblebee, it's an orchestral piece. The music goes real crazy, camera's blurred, everything goes, and then he's running upstairs. He runs into the closet, starts digging through the closet to try to find something to do, and he's throwing toys out of the closet, trying to find something to do, something to entertain him, and then he comes out all frustrated. Comes back downstairs real fast and then sits, and the music stops and it's quiet again. In comes the mom, the shopping bag. Mom comes in. Mom comes in, shopping bag. Kid sees her, is really excited, gets the leap pad, is really interested. They sit down together and start playing with it, with each other, spending time together. And then the last shot is the kid sitting on the couch with his hands moving real fast, showing activation, and he's really getting into this and playing with it. And then it flashes to the swirls. Activate your child's mind with my first leap pad. And then Leapfrog slogan, learn something new every day.
That's fun.
Try to incorporate the activity.
Okay. And then to reflect this piece, we did a magazine ad using just a screenshot from the actual thing to tie them together. Used the swirls, the leap pad, or the Leapfrog purple. Had some bullets with some information about it. This magazine ad is geared towards parents. We put in like good housekeeping, parenting, and pretty much the woman's target market for leap pad that was put in the. And not only would it appeal to them, I think that if a kid was sitting by or anything, they'd see this and it'd kind of catch their attention. Just wanted to show the kid being activated and smiling, and then pretty much it on me. And then another print media to go along with that is a freestanding insert for newspapers, and I'm going to let Matt tell you about that.
Freestanding inserts will go in a newspaper, all the stuff that falls out of it. What we got here is we're just going to use the same for the front. This is the cover right here for the front. It's just going to tell you exactly what it is. And you flip it over, and here you got your product shot, and you got your price here, and you got your dots to indicate what this pad can do, all the great functions. And we want to emphasize the product itself, so we blew it up. We put that on to make it, the main point, the main focal point. And we use the colors, green of course, with the swirls. So if it does fall out, you might catch the green and not miss it. Alright, for the next piece is the shoes. We got the leap pad leapers. Now, these shoes are supposed to not only just go on a child's feet, but they're also supposed to activate it the same way that the leap pad would. Seeing you got your light here, that when it walks it lights up, and it's a yellow light. Makes no sound, so parents and teachers don't need to. It just lights up. You also see the kids at night, if you're on the street or something. But the goal here is to, while the kid has these on their feet, and the kid has a leap pad in his hand, it all ties in, it's all activating. Activate your child's mind is our slogan, and that's how it ties in together. The kid's playing with his leap pad, and he has his shoes on, and he's going to go outside, and when he's done with the leap pad with his shoes on, he's going to go out and explore the world, everything that goes into the leap pad, he's going to be there. He's got his characters on here, all his leap friends, and he's just gonna hop around in his leapers. And to go along with the shoes, I did create the box, just a regular shoe box that it'll go in. Again, I have leap on the front. And I got numbers to indicate, that's what this, numbers indicate education. That's what the product is, educational. So I put those on there, and you got the leap pad leapers, and got that on top. And that just gives you an idea, an indication of what the box itself might be. The next product is going to be a poster. I feel that when a child accomplishes something, he needs to feel good about it. So I'm going to include this poster on, it could go and come with a number of products. It could come with the leaf pad itself, the shoes. This is going to be a free poster incorporated inside the package. And what this poster is, it's activating their mind, of course. What I got here, I got these numbers. Of course, they're all misplaced. It's supposed to help the kid with memorization to put the numbers in order. 1, 2, 3. It's going to help him interact. It's going to activate his mind, and he's going to try to put these in order. If he can't do it one day, he might do it the next. If he can't do it the next. He's just still keep trying. He's going to still keep activating. And when in here, I have record your successes, because when he can do this, then you got the stickers. I have just plain simple stickers that he can just slap right on here to let whoever sees this, hey, he can do 1 to 10 like that. He's ready for something else. He's ready to go on. And I got the triangles, or the shapes up here: triangles, stars, circles, diamonds. So he can name them. When he gets through with them, tell everybody that he accomplished it. Slap a sticker on there. He's ready to go. He's ready to go for the main guy, and the main cat, I guess. And what I got here, I took this out of the book, and this is again memorization. It's activating your mind, and of course the E stands for the ears. You got the eyes and the mouth. I figured I'd help him a little bit, so I put the first letter of each word to try to, help them get them start. And, again, when they accomplish this, they can just go ahead and slap a sticker on there. And, I thought maybe, we'd do one poster. It could be a series of posters, the child needs to feel good about his success. He also needs to let other people know when he hangs it on the wall. Let others know that what he's accomplished, and he's ready to go to the next leap pad book, or what have you.
We did several different things that would incorporate us, maybe buy some promotional, like the poster, and Scott's getting ready to show something else. It could be more of a promotional. You get more incentive to buy, and then the kids are also going to be able to learn with it, carry out in everyday life, have it in their bedroom, or and it relates back to the book. Back to the leap pad.
All right. I did a piece over leap pad and incorporated in, and it's a placemat for dinner time. I remember when I was a kid, you get to dinner, your parents were sitting there cooking, and you're sitting there just doing everything you can to keep out of the kitchen, mess around. And this is a fun way to keep, still learning and same activities. You have your numbers off to the side, so you can learn your numbers. You have the characters in the center with the shirts cut out with dots on it, so you can connect the dots to create the shirt, and also, since they're white, you can take a crayon and color them. We've got it laminated, so you just take it and wash it off and do it over and over again. Incorporated the guy with the car, zooming around to show activation, because he, just like everything else we've got, is really activated and excited about this, and is going home. So That's the placemat.
I'm a 15-year-old.
Well, we didn't say it was jaded. Just carry it on. We also did a product display. This is to go on the shelf. and-
So bad.
Okay, the product display to show the leaf pad itself. And this is something to show that activation.
Yep. Put your folder on, put your.
It has an easel on it. Oh, yeah.
There you go. There you go. So if this is something to put in an aisle to show the weed pad, and it's going to be, towards parents because they come by and see it, and they're going to say, go, okay, this also gives them a chance to play with it.
I think they did 2 of these, Steve.
Gives them a chance to play with it, see how it works, how it can help their child. And it's also got the characters and activate your child's mind, slogan on it. And it's also fun, that way in case the parent wants to see how the kid reacts, you can lift him up and, let him play with it. But it gives a chance for the parent and child to interact with each other, seeing everything. And this is just going to with a shelf display in any store. That you can advertise it.
As well as using the swirls and everything, we incorporated all the characters on everything. So with the slogan, activate your child's mind, draws the parent in, it's going to catch the kid's eye also by having the characters on everything.
All right.
Which can also relate to what Scott's going to show next.
Yes. Relating to the store aspect, we also went ahead and made floor decals, floor stickers. This is to be placed inside the store, just down the aisles to show indication where the pad is, where you can find it. This will be right up to the very beginning, go all the way through. You'll see, the leaf pad logo to show, the parents and the kids, what exactly it is. Because I'm sure by now they've got an idea of what leaf pad is, and if they don't, they're going to find it interesting and follow it until they find out. It will end up right in front of the product display, and you'll have the kid and the parent right there together, I'm sure, and then you have your introduction into our product. Very simple
If the
way.
product's on the shelf.
Yeah,
Well, that was a
we
lot.
found that out real quick.
Behind that, yeah.
Clay Allen is coveting this product right here.
We might also explain that when you guys first went to go find them,
Yeah,
We couldn't even find the product.
We just walked right by the aisle. I mean, especially in Walmart, how hectic and full that place is. And even if you look down an aisle, there's nothing that sticks out. So by having this on the edge with characters that are popping out, maybe, or there's no maybe, it will catch your eye and bring you right in it. And having the floor stickers will also bring you in,
Yes.
which also leads to
Yes.
this
Going into
commercial.
the next piece.
It's commercial 1 in your handout that we gave you. And the first scene will have a family walking into a toy store and just the noise of regular toy store crowds and people and such. And there'll be a shot of the parents looking at the toy store, an overwhelming big look of it all. Then it'll switch to the actual showing the toy store, all the shelves and everything. The next shot will have the kid, which is using the floor decals, because being on the floor will also be closer to the kid's height visually, and see that. Then it'll have the kid, literally, the Flight of the Bumblebee music will come in, and the kid will be literally, zoom, 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 all over the toy store, and and that will carry on a bit, just real active, which incorporates. Although he's active, it's motion, and when he goes, he ends up finding the product display and coming back with the leap pad, and the next scene will have him playing with the leap pad and his hands moving frantically, and, thanks. And then having the same last two screenshots, as we did in the other commercial, where it incorporates activate your child's mind, and then the final screenshot of learn something new every day. And also, it can pertain to the other commercial by using the Fly the Bumblebee, which can make it relating. Well, I mean, this, you can tell it's both LeapPad commercial. As far as being in the store, we also had something else to show. Once you get there and you get to where the product display is and the floor decals are,
we also did a mobile to show. It will be hung above the point of purchase pretty high, so people not only you can follow the floor mats and you can look to see where the product is up highest.
Steve, higher so the kids can walk into it.
It looks like a kite flying.
I think you can.
You can.
That's their next thing.
We use the square and the triangle because it's simple, like kids will like that. Because they're learning about square shapes.
and using the swirl again activity.
And the characters.
Also, once you're there and you're with the floor decals and you've seen the product display and you see the mobile, you can also pick up this next one.
This is our mailer. We understand that Leapfrog has its own mailing list that we can use for mothers in the Middle Ages. It's pretty simple. We thought the kid would actually like it too. If he saw his mother reading it, he'd be wanting to know what it was. And we're also including a CD inside that will also show the product. And we use the circle on that because it will draw your name into it, draws you into the logo, the character.
The way it's designed, it has the swirl. When you see it, it folds in, so the swirl brings you in, and the logo stickers in the middle, which you're going to open up, and then it'll draw you into it.
We were also going to put it on the product display.
Yeah, we figured it could be like a take one as well as a direct market, a mailer to your target market. So we try to make everything build. So if you went from the commercials, which you'd see the floor decals and the display, and then you'd go to the store and see the decals on the floor, and then you'd see the product display, and then the mobile, and then the take one CD.
Does it work?
Yes, it does. And we do have the CD, it's interactive CD. We can show it to you. Okay.
Click.
Oh,
I'm rolling.
okay. This CD was designed to be, the parent's going to get it in the mail. You're not going to have a 3-year-old get this in the mail. It was designed that a parent could play with it or interact with it, see how it works, see if they even would care to buy it for their child. This would be the opening screen, and then onto the next page would have it'd be the same noises from the actual LeapPad. When you can roll over Leap, it's using bringing the activate your child's mind with my first LeapPad, and then when you can also roll over the little girl, and that was telling the buyer where they can go to find out for local retailers, as well as directing them to visit leapfrog.com for other products, even if they have older children. This was designed so that when the mother's playing with this, the sounds were incorporated, so if the little 3-year-old or 5-year-old's walking around, they're going to see the characters and hear the characters, so that's going to get the child in the mom's lap, which this is going to create child-parent interaction, which is good. And if the kid likes it and, you know, is interactive or wants to play with it, then it's probably going to motivate the mother or the father, whoever is playing with the kid, to buy it more so than if they're just going on if they think the kid's going to like it. If that makes sense. Okay, and the next page.
How to play with my first LeapPad learning system.
This page shows, gives you a closer look on different parts of the LeapPad. When you roll over the pin, or the on-off switch, or the go, or even the speaker. It just gives you a closer view of the actual parts of it. So if you're not in the store and you don't see the product display, then you can, you're going to be getting one of these, or if you don't have time in the store, you can pick up one of these off the product display and do it at home. Then again, these are features that are directed towards the parents, but visually towards the kids. And then the next page.
Enjoy reading the story on one side, flip the book over to play activities on the other.
This page was
Use
really...
your pen to touch pictures or words on the page.
Well, actually, you're supposed to roll over it. This page is really meant to draw kids in. It's a really interactive page.
It's a party.
Yeah. When you roll over each individual character, it talks. And just like in the actual book, it's an actual page out of LeapPad. This would be more the ones that people play with. And then the last page. It just ends with the same ending of the actual LeapPad, and then again it has the website to go to. Also, a freebie that could go along with this, because it's going to be towards the computer, would be a mouse pad. Also designed one of those. And I guess any questions, or have we? Okay. We incorporate using the pinwheel for the activity and action. This could be this is sort of an extra display. These are for you, by the way. And
It doesn't actually.
they're homemade, but they would spin.
They just don't make pinwheels anymore.
Normally,
They
this
used
is
to
for
have
just in-house.
lots of pinwheels, like at Walmart, they have racks of them, and now they have.
It's not summer.
If you have a cat or something, you want to do it.
This puts the name back in the home, so when the kids are playing with the pinwheels and seeing everything, this keeps the Leapfrog logo and design and campaign and product in their mind, fresh at all times.
We're wearing these T-shirts, trying to use the active, swirly thing, and it also could be another promotional deal for. It would just come in kid sizes, and it just has the logo right here of the LeapPad or Leapfrog, and that's I think.
Good time, my job too.
Just to cover everything again, we chose to activate your child's mind, to hit the parents first. We feel like that the toy like this is probably going to be more directed towards parents that are concerned with their child's learning and want them to learn and want to make it fun and not be too pushy about it. Everything visually was to put emphasis behind or activate by the motion and using the characters to draw the kids into, as well as the parents. And I covered everything.
Good job.
Very good. Good job. We usually get applause from clients. Just don't think that's going to happen again. Clients don't usually applaud, but you guys did a great job.
That's a lot of work for 2 weeks.
I know, a lot of work for 2 weeks.
Oh, we're not telling you anything.
Probably
Are you
go home
on
and sleep
vacation?
after this.
Oh, my.
Scott, think you
Very small.
I just can't think about it. It's too much.
You can have one too much.
Thank you. Leave.
Don't take my penis.
Yeah, that's never.
You were just moving it.
We also do have an actual CD for each of you, with our interactive CD, a little mini CD that I can get real fast and give to you guys. Just so you
Just leave it all back there. Back. All your stuff.
Yeah, you're sneaking in trying to get the micro sleep pad. His daughter turns 3 next week.
Oh.
I got one from this last one.
Oh, did you?
I just stumbled across it in a store.
That's a cool toy.
Well, I knew about it.
Yeah.
I didn't try to get the discount.
Oh, you didn't? I didn't either.
Right now.
I was actually going to donate it to Salvation Army for Christmas.
Does anybody know on these little CDs, you know what a slot loading CD is?
Not the kind that comes out, just.
Where it just
Right.
goes in this one.
Will these go in there? Will they get stuck? I wasn't afraid.
They will go in. We tested, made
In
sure.
a slot loading, they will take it.
Cool. So what's your name so we can call you when it's stuck?
I bought a bunch of these, one of my friends.
They're so cute.
Got it
Yeah.
great. Not a bunch of wasted space.
Are we ready? What is it?
Are you the next group?
Yes.
Next group, go
We're
ahead.
ready.
You guys need to.
They're going to change clothes, right?
T-shirts are cute.
That's so Angus.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So Angus for T-shirts. Yeah.
What?
Oh, just kind of, blow them away. They have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they do.
How's everybody doing today?
It's Friday, we're doing
I don't even know what day it is. I'm just ready to show you.
In the ad business, holidays are always the hardest because your clients think that gremlins come in and do your work while they're on holiday break, so it gets a little hectic around holidays. Isn't that right? Oh, yes. Oh, my God, it is so funny and so true. Oh, I know. Oh, so true. We're going to be out, so here's how you make the logo supersized.
Yeah. I have lots of Starbursts
Yeah.
and stuff.
Okay. This is my group. My name's Mike Gates. It's nice to be here and talk to y'all today. This is Melanie, Jesse, James, and Laura. It's been great to work with these people. I'm glad I got the chance to do this with them. So, go ahead and get started here. We're going to talk about our magazine ad first. So I carry it around here. Want to talk about our texture and what we've used here. That's kind of what we've used on all our pieces. The color scheme, we kind of wanted to stick somewhat to what was being used previously. But we wanted to make this stand out a little bit because this is going to be the first toy in the whole series of what Leapfrog does. If we can get them to start with the My First Leap Pad first, and maybe we can get them to continue through with the rest of the toys and use all this stuff. So we thought maybe we'd try something a little bit more catchier than what they've been working with, but try and stay within those parameters where it could be seen together. Just wanted to show the family having fun. Headline was Get It Jump on Learning. It's a copy. It was pretty conversational, just basically what it does and how it can help you provide education for your child and get an early start on education with ABCs and math skills and things like that. And
It's also a tagline that we've come up with to supplement the learn something new every day. We didn't want to completely eliminate that. we felt that that was an important way to tie all the LEAP pad products together. So we kept the learn something new every day, but we kind of expanded upon that and wanted to come up with the idea of, came up with the additional slogan, discover the fun of learning, which is something that we tried to tie into each piece. Here it's the last line of the body copy. Each piece we try to incorporate in some way to supplement or act in addition to the learn something new every day, to kind of distinguish it from the regular LEAP pad, but still to tie it to that product, since they're a series, basically, more or less. But as far as discover the fun of learning, we felt like discovery and learning were synonymous, and that we wanted to give parents the impression that their kids would get this and realize, wow, I didn't, we want our kids to be, these children to be thinking, wow, I didn't know learning could be so much fun. Kind of a realization or discovery that, this is fun, this is engaging, I like it.
For little kids, everything is a discovery, every little thing.
And
if we can get them to figure that out, with this, once they start to realize there's so much more out there, that's kind of where we went with that. We also did a FSI, Melanie did here. We kind of kept it along the same lines there.
And this just kind of reinforces, the original magazine ad. It's a freestanding insert over here. And this will be for like toy store catalogs, mailers, things that the inserts into newspapers. It has the new price. And it also has Discover the Fun of Learning and the website, of course, so that they can discover more about it before they get to the store if they like. And it has a kind of a laid back, kind of a conversational body copy.
Yeah, pass that around.
Okay, thanks.
For the magazine, I went to Walmart and was looking at the magazines trying to determine what exactly would be good, and I found out there's tons of parenting magazines out there and stuff, and they were all looking at me funny, I was over here looking through all these magazines and stuff. But I thought if any of those, I think they would all be great. Almost all of them had, this one even had a toy safety special in there, so it's, they were all had a lot to do with toys and stuff, and I thought any of these would be good, any of the parenting magazines. I thought those would be excellent for that application. And the way that was set up with those colors and the texture, there's nothing like that in here. So if you're just thumbing through, maybe you're not even looking for something like that, it would really catch your eye. If we can get them to read, then maybe we can sell them on the product. We just got to get their attention first. But I thought something like that too.
Is your ad in it?
No, it fit. Okay. But we also had a direct mail piece. So I'd let Jesse tell you about that.
Direct mail, as when we had our conversation with Miss Elmore a couple weeks ago, you said that you do buy a direct mailing list. So I used Mr. Cool was my ad, but basic product shot, went with the same textured background, logo on the bottom. We wanted to basically get the product out there. You get a ton of mail, during the day and we just wanted to make it stand out, so we used very vibrant, bright colors for it, and
again, with that texture and that color, I think even if getting something like that in the mail would really get your attention to read it.
And we still wanted to be able to display the name very easily, so we cut it off. We gave basically 2/3 look, and in the back we incorporated basically what it can learn, pre-math, pre-reading, basic phonics skills, the ABCs. We actually have the application.
Yeah, I was passing down that.
Yeah, it started here.
And basically and we came up with ideas for commercials. Actually, we had about 5 of them, I believe. Yeah. And
Yeah, good. But when we spoke to you on the phone, I think that was the very first thing that you mentioned, the commercial. And for me, that was something new. I had never attempted anything as a commercial, so I thought we might all see what we could do on that. So we did 5 different commercials to see if we could get a spin on that or something. We wrote some scripts up here. This is exactly what was on the storyboard. Yeah. I guess you probably heard it by now. Okay. This was the vision I had. Got the 2 kids in, you know, watching the Saturday morning cartoons, and they're just sitting there just with their jaws open and just look bored, not doing anything, not accomplishing anything, you know. And they hear a strange noise in the background, so they're kind of looking at each other, wondering what is that? So they both get up and they walk to the back, and they find the door shut. They still hear these strange noises coming from the door, so the little kid's trying to listen in, hear what's going on, and he's got his friend with him, and his friend's trying to find out, so they decide they're going to look under the door, and they're getting excited, you know, one's pushing on the other one, let me see, trying to peek under the door, and they can't see what these noises are. So one of them stands up and says, well, I have an idea, and they leave. The next scene is going to be a girl, she's in her room, and she's playing with her leap pad, and she's got them shut out, you know, and she's having a good time by herself. She hears some noises outside the window. The boys have got this idea, you know, that they're going to go outside, and they're not quite tall enough to get to the window, so you can kind of see them jumping up and down, you know, they want in. You can hear them pushing one another out of the way, you know, let me see. The sister hears the noise, and reluctantly, she didn't even want to get up and quit, but she sets it down to go see, and it's just those silly boys, you know, so she shuts the blinds and said, this one's just for me, and kind of aiming at, this is really for the younger kids right now, you know, and if we can get them going, then maybe we can lead into the other toys as well. So that was my basic idea for it. And then for our closing scene, we've taken and used the same colored background, and what would happen is the product itself would slide onto this colored background, the logo would jump out and go to the left corner, and when it got to the corner, see the voiceover, that's when the voiceover would read, discover the fun of learning with my first leap pad. And then as it hits the white circle would grow out to full screen. And then we're going to go ahead and show the URL. We want everybody to get to the website. And then that's when we go ahead and sum it up like it's already been done with Learn Something New Every Day. So we could keep that continuity with what's been done and then also put our own spin into it as well. So we got to couple more here. So let's see. I think this was yours, Mom. Go ahead.
Thanks. Okay, here's the second commercial. And do you want to look at that? And it starts off with thanks, Mike. It starts off with the grandma, and she's making dinner, and her daughter's there, and there are 2 kids. And she says, dinner's ready. And Mom comes, and the older sister comes to the table. Well, Sarah's missing. Where is she? So, you know, they're looking for her, and they keep hearing kind of a weird noise coming from beneath the table, or can't quite figure out where it's coming from. And they start looking around, and they hear another sound that sounds like it's beneath the table. So they kind of scoot the chairs back and all look under, and she's kind of hiding with a mischievous look, playing with her leap pad. And then she laughs, and everyone laughs, and she comes out front of the table to eat dinner. And this one's called Too Much Fun.
It's kind of got the idea that they're more interested in learning it, you know, than just some of the everyday things. Maybe they're into the discovery.
So excited about discovering what all they can learn. And we really want to be really careful with this. We don't want it to appear that this is keeping them from doing things they should be doing. But these kids are so little, you know, they don't have chores, we just really wanted to push the idea that they're so into it, you know, that they're just having so much fun. And it ends with the same 2 screenshots. So we kind of tied all the commercials, all 5 together that way. The last 2 shots are the same. And discover the fun of learning and learn something new every day. And our next commercial is James.
Is it okay if I set this on the floor? I'm destined to kick it off on the floor.
Well, yeah, set it back up here on the table.
I think he thought you were going to
I saw it coming, I just knew it was going to happen.
With our next commercial, we went after a slightly different market. I mean, we've got grandparents here. Grandparents, I'm sure you know, are a huge buyer of educational toys for the kids. I know my mom is always out to get the latest thing for my nephew. It's always something. So with this one, it starts off with Grandma and Grandpa sitting on their couch at home, and Grandma says, Earl, we should be investing for Sarah's future. Grandpa agrees that that's a good idea. That's great. He pulls out some money and he's ready, you know. So they go to their investment broker, and they go see Mr. Parker, the investment broker, and they say, you know, we're interested in investing for Sarah's future, for her education. And the broker says, well, you know, what did you have in mind? Stocks, perhaps setting up a trust fund? Well, what would you recommend? He pulls a My First Leap Pad from beneath his desk and says, well, this is the best investment you could make for her education. So, you know, grandparents are impressed. They think that's great. They get the gift for the kid, and the child is ecstatic. You get the voiceover explaining what the Leap Pad does, learning ABCs and counting and learning to read. And then the tie-up at the end of the commercial was the same again. The unit slides in place, the logo jumps off, and then you get your URL and the voiceover again with discover the fun of learning and learn something new every day. Yet another commercial. Jesse.
And let's set this here for a second. What we haven't mentioned yet is every one of these commercials, we're basically going for a very comical look towards it. Like every one of them is going to have, you know, just kind of zany, outcast. And mine deals with little Mike graduating high school. And very first scene we've got is shows him playing with his Leap Pad when he's very young, you know, 3 to 5 years old. And then we get this, you know, flash forward to graduation night, and you basically see very crowded auditorium with, you know, hundreds of graduates, hundreds of parents in the background, and then you got Mr. Valedictorian stands up to the podium, his papers, and he's like, you know, as we leave tonight for better lives, you know, I'd just like to take the time to thank a few people for helping me. I'd like to thank Dad, you know, for getting me to school when the weather was bad and all that, and and we show him here. And then the very last one, he's like, and finally, I'd like to thank Mom for getting me my first Leap Pad when I was little, which helped me. And that's when he takes it, he raises it in the sky, and everyone just starts cheering. The crowd's really crazy. And the same ending, you know, it's got the same voiceovers. We're basically, you know, discover the fun of learning, and it's got the same exact exit. The same last 2 panels are the exit. I was actually married to, I think, 3 people in the entire.
Could have been proud of that.
We're concerned about talent costs.
And
have little to work with.
A couple photographs go a long way, I'll tell you that. And we've got one more commercial, which would be Miss Suarez.
Okay, so for our final commercial, we have an idea. You have the scripts?
Yes.
Yes, okay. The idea we're looking at here is we have Big Sister playing on the regular original Leap Pad, and the little sister sees her in the kitchen playing, walks in, asks her what she's doing, and Big Sister says, oh, I'm playing on my Leap Pad. And little sister, she's like, oh, can I play? And, you know, Big Sister, she's all haughty, and she's, you know, kind of snubs her. She's like, no, this is for big kids. And, you know, of course, the little sister, she's like, oh, and just kind of saunters off. And then there's a sound of the door slamming in the background, and they realize, Dad's home. So, you know, they go running into the living room, and then there's Dad just got back with a shopping bag, like he's been to Walmart or Toys R Us or something, and they're excited, and Big Sister little sister are there standing, waiting, and Dad's like, "Hey, Hannah," big sister, talking to her. He says, "Got you a new book for your leap pad." Of course, she's like, "Cool, great, thanks, Dad." Takes it, goes back and trots back into the kitchen. The little sister's standing there thinking, kind of pouting like, "Oh, Dad didn't get me anything." Real sad. And of course, Dad sees this and he's like, "Oh, you don't think I forget you, do you?" And he pulls out my first leap pad. And of course, she's like, "Oh, Dad did get me something." She's delighted. She's proud. Next scene, she's bringing it into the kitchen, clutched to her chest. She's, just really excited. She's got this new toy all her own. And big sister sees her. She's playing her leap pad. Sees little sister walk in with my first leap pad. "What you got there?" She tells her, "My first leap pad." And big sister's like, "Oh, wow. She's impressed. She's like, "Can I see?" And of course, little sister, she's like, "No, it's just for me. My first leap pad is just for me." It's basically the same idea Mike had. It's just reinforcing that idea that we're not trying to separate little young preschool-age children as little kids per se, more so much as just an exclusive group all their own. It's a special exclusive group all their own, and just basically separating them that way in a positive way, and making parents realize this is the first step in your child's education. And I have the second panel here shows the ending, which is basically the same. Discover the fun of learning, voiceover that describes the product and what it's about. And then the last two panels, of course, show the same ending with the logo and the product.
I think we kind of neglected to tell you, all of the 5 of the commercials had a good voiceover on the product and what it did. And so there was always a good spot in the middle.
I did leave that out. There's a part where Dad, after Dad gets her the present, gets her life or sleep pad, they sit down on the couch and interact together. That's a very important part that I left out. And it's basically at that point that the voiceover comes in to describe the product, which I think is important to see the child interacting. And we could have used a mom here, because I know mom is probably one of our targets. But they're also non-traditional families, and we don't want to leave them out. And they're gift givers, other than mom, that are going to be interested in their child's future just as much. So we kind of wanted to keep that in mind too.
Also pursued that in my magazine ad as well, showing the father also. We want to include dads too. It's not just for
Two
moms.
panels. I don't know.
Should we send them together?
Yeah.
Sure. Not confuse everybody. And next, please.
We had some billboards down here. Melanie's going to tell you about.
I have 2 separate pieces prepared. And, I'm sorry? Okay. Yeah. The first one just reinforces all of our other pieces, and basically I want to get people to go to the website, and this would be placed, for instance, in Tulsa on 71st around the mall, all the shopping areas, Toys R Us, somewhere where people are going to be shopping anyway. And it's discover. We want people to discover the product first. And it also shows it in application there. And then the second one I've prepared is, I really wanted to show the interaction to back that up some of the parent and the child, so they can get an idea of the age of who it's for also, and the website as well. And that will be placed in the same type of area, shopping area, or where the major toy stores are. And we've also added learn something new every day to that, to kind of back you all up on what you've done in the past. And to go along with this, we have a bus bench seat that Laura...
This was another idea that we came up to kind of, in addition to the billboard, kind of tie both together. It's a it's a bus bench coaster, basically. And there's lots of places these could go. For example, in Tulsa, right here in Tulsa, there's a good spot on 71st Street that's out front of the parking lot of Target, which is one of the stores that carries Leap products. And it's also very close to the Toys R Us, same area, the mall. So very busy shopping areas. You've got the bench, the bus bench, and this is how it would look enlarged here, so you guys can see that better. And then underneath, I have what we did was we tried to kind of show it applied to a bench, how it would look, which I think really makes a dramatic difference. Other places this could go, maybe not just bus benches, but there are other places that you see families and children. There's the zoo. There are parks. Parents bring their children to the zoo and to the parks, young children all the time. Another possible place that this could be placed. And I think the next piece is for a t-shirt design.
So I designed a t-shirt. I thought it could possibly have several uses. I didn't know. You could do something with a proof of purchase. When you buy the product, send it in, and possibly we could send you a t-shirt, or you could do also product accessories, and certain groups of products you get a free t-shirt with it, or I think there'd be a number of things you could do with that. But we wanted to keep our theme with the discover the fun of learning and make sure we put the URL on. Here's an application. This balloon would be on the back. The other piece would be a small piece located up in the corner, just showing the My First Leap Pad logo type and the logo, as well as one of the characters. But I thought that would be good for the little kids. I think it probably is a promotional type idea. I don't know how that would work best. We also had an idea for stickers too that James worked on here. Oh, whoops. Sticker.
What we've done here is something targeted more for the kids, obviously. A lot of advertising, obviously, for this product is for the parents because they're the ones that are doing the purchasing. But this would be something that would tie in the characters and would get the kids involved. I mean, if they're interested in Leap, and they're probably interested in My First Leap Pad, they don't necessarily understand about the product yet, about what they're going to be learning and all that thing. But if they like Leap, then they're interested in it, then mom or dad are likely to purchase that item. With these stickers, it could have a variety of uses. I mean, kids love stickers. They will stick them on everything, their doors and their dogs and whatever. But, this could be, these could be stuck in, a toy circular, like in Sunday paper, just in with the Toys R Us ad. Or this could actually be a freebie in stores. I mean, you could go in and pick them up at the counter as you check out. This could be something that is packaged with the product, just included with that. You get stickers when you buy My First Leap Pad. It could serve a variety of purposes. We also created an in-store item here, which these are floor pads, which would lead you through the store to the shelf where the product is. I know that I've been in toy stores recently, and this time of year it's a real madhouse, and you can't find anything, so it'd be real handy to have something on the floor kind of leading you. I mean, you could have any number of these things. I have just 3 here, but you could have 5, you could have 15. I mean, depending on how far from the entrance you want it to go. But I have a large one here which would go just directly in front of the shelf where the product actually is once you found it. But they're bright, they're colorful, they've got bright arrows. I mean, the kids are going to notice them because the character's here, and mom and dad are going to appreciate just being able to follow the little kind of trail to the product instead of fighting their way through the store. They can be laminated and just, adhere directly to the floor, obviously, and, they're large enough and bright enough that they're noticed and they'll lead you right where you want to go. For another in-store item, back to her.
Got our tall guy here to kind of demonstrate a larger version of.
We've got the floor and the ceiling covered here.
This is a, show this, piece, a hanging point of purchase, basically, as you can see. It would be hanging from the ceiling. I know in particular I went into Toys R Us, they have high ceilings, so this would be really good in particular for a large toy store like that has high ceilings and really lends itself to this purpose. So basically what the idea was here was, well, for me, a personal experience of mine, I went in a toy store to look for the Leapfrog items, and it was, it's a Toys R Us in particular, it's a big store. It's hard to find the Leapfrog section, much like any other section, but I noticed once I finally found the Leapfrog section, they did have some hanging stuffed frogs, I believe, from the ceiling. And I thought, well, there's nothing wrong with that, but how about something that really shows up, that you can really see, and as you're walking up, you can see it in the distance, looming, and see that, hey, there's the Leapfrog stuff, oh, there's the Leapfrog section, there it is, and kind of as a visual guide to know where you're walking, know where you're headed, just to kind of advertise, here's our product, right over here, and it's a front and back. On one side, we have Discover the Fun of Learning with our gradient, the URL, the web address. Because these are interactive, you can download things off the internet, obviously. That's very important, is the web address for people to go find out more about the product and to download new games and activities. The other side is a balloon made from the logo, basically, and it really, worked very well for this particular project. Got the logo here without anything blocking it, and then behind him he's got the balloon, the logo acting as a balloon, and he's got his little telescope and he's out exploring. Basically, gives the same idea of discovering the fun of learning. Just kind of gives that same feel of discovery. Next piece.
I was dragging out of my car last night when I went home. My hair.
It held up pretty good.
Oh, it didn't go far.
It's a smaller version. Let's see. For the next piece, Jesse, what did you have? I don't know which one you want to show first.
In mind with getting the product out there, we made another like a miniature FSI freestanding insert to basically display the product again, and it's basically got an instruction booklet on the inside of it. But when it comes down to it, I actually loved making this piece because when I think of these, I prefer the smaller stuff, and I think a lot of kids do too, because you come across a giant piece of paper and you can't keep it. But when you have a smaller piece, that'll go in your pocket and you can look at it later whenever you want. And moms can easily slide that in with the other stuff in their purse, wallet, and basically the same tagline.
And where would these be?
These, well, you could either put them at the front of the registers, or they can also go in the actual display shelf, which we have a piece we'll show you in a second. For basically, national size, logo, important, everything important, image, and make it interactive, because this is trying to peg the website too, so when they do buy it, they can upload it quickly with the mouse icon. You get this one. It's right here. And for like we say, we wanted to make it like if the kid does buy it, he can always keep it in his pocket if he wants to. So we've done the I mentioned basically put call-outs with the basic controls of what it can do, explaining it. And put a leaf in there just to try this kind of thing, which kind of goes along with our final piece here, which is our major point of purchase, the display to our, it's this very scaled model, but I have to stand up, and the actual toy would be fastened on here, cord, and
So be in store,
yeah,
testing out the product.
yeah, little kids see it and they want to play with it.
For me, I didn't, I had no idea what the toy was about, and when I went out and bought one and took it home, I played with it for 30 or 45 minutes. You know, and I thought,
So did I.
It's really hard to understand what that toy is about until you get to use it yourself, and we thought that was a great way to get that in. It's amazing.
What we're sustaining is, if you want to, there's an easy way to be able to visually set it.
Plus, if you have a young child, we're talking about children that aren't reading, and it's good to have something they can interact with and see visually, and basically have there to work with their hands, and in addition to that, have the descriptions for the parents to read.
And have it low enough where they can reach it,
Yeah.
or they reach it by themselves.
Well, those were all the pieces that we came up with. I thought our campaign worked really good. It was a new concept for us. It was something we'd never tried before, especially the commercials. We really did enjoy it. It's been very stressful and very tedious. And it was great. I loved every bit of it. Everybody did it. So
It was great.
it was. Thank you for the chance to do this. We really appreciate it. Did y'all have any questions about any of our pieces? Or?
Did you want to wait?
Let's just wait till we do.
Okay.
Did a
Well, thank
nice
you.
job.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Go ahead and round up your stuff. Okay. Put your stuff back there on the back page. Right there.
Pretty massive.
Are y'all ready?
Like this right there. This is Brown's radio. We have visual. We want to test communicate. Good morning, you 25 at the week pad?
Hello! Special
We would elaborate and tell you guys what that was all about, but we just kind of made that up about 2 minutes ago.
I did so well with the walls.
See, we didn't all actually plan on wearing black, because last night, when we finally got our stuff mounted, we all sat down and watched Mission Impossible 2, because Tom Cruise, you know, the ladies like him. And by the time we got done, we all showed up this morning wearing all black, so I just wanted to clear that up.
Do you want us to suspend you from the ceiling?
That would be sweet. In this room?
Wire from the nobles.
It's child proof. Okay.
Okay. I'm Mario, and this is David, and Courtney, and Brittany, and John. Hi. And of course we are the third group. We had a bit of a task to kind of come up with a concept that we could push the product and be innovative and be different and be exciting and be interesting and be energetic and actually come across with the message that we needed. And as we struggled, we realized that some of the best things in life are easy. When you go to an ATM, if it's too complicated, it's not necessarily the best interface. If it's easy, people will like it. Oh, you can do it in and out quick. Quick life. 1, 2, 3. Easy. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Kind of rolling along with some of those ideas, as we realize is that when you're dealing with the age group that we're dealing with, the 3 to 5-year-olds, you must simplify things. And that's kind of some of the thought process that went on and some of the different ideas. Our concept for this campaign runs along our tagline, which says, "Learning has never been easier." And we will show you today not only just some pieces, but also some concepts on some commercials. And seeing that we're not polished cinematographers, we kind of set them up in a sort of slideshow manner, kind of give you the idea of the feel. To start us off on some of the visuals, Dr. David, get us started.
Okay. One thing that we decided to do was to go with a magazine series, and these would be full bleed ads in a magazine. They'd run in parenting magazines, Better Homes and Gardens, anything to attract mothers, parents, any of the prospective buyers. The main thing in our copy is the letter by letter, word by word, learning has never been easier is our main phrase. And the letter by letter, word by word, it says so much about the LEAP pad because it shows that they can grow up with it, because first they learn their letters and then they go to their words. So it shows that you can grow with it and it grows with you. And the learning has never been easier, so it's the simplicity of the toy and how it's easy for all of the children to learn and grow with it. We chose to go with the series to kind of tie off some of the main points like the LEAP pad with the ABCs and learning your 1, 2, 3s. And
we tried to use a continuous style, and obviously to keep it as a campaign, but we tried to use the type to run around, have this playful look. Basically, you're not going to have a 3 to 5-year-old reading a magazine or looking at a newspaper, and so it's obviously got to hit the parents, so we tried to have this, childish feel to it. But do you guys want to talk about the type? Just really can explain that?
It also tests the parents' reading skills, to see how well they can read around a curve,
But they can't read.
Yeah,
Then they might need a LEAP pad.
Yeah, so we wanted, to keep the type free-flowing to suggest, that this is fun and interactive because you do have to read it. And to also maybe it would draw the kid in visually too, to see this neat, designy, trail-looking thing, even though they can't read yet.
Continuous line of learning.
Yes.
And also, it's something that you don't normally see in most ads. I mean, most of them you see are normally like that. And this would be something different that would pop out and catch your eye with the real wavy type. And there's pretty good negative space all the way around it where most things are kind of all jumbled together. You would see this and it would kind of catch your attention and pull you in.
Yeah, it's not your average layout.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Also, the next space really, it kind of lets you feel like you're not about to read a big dissertation. It is short and sweet, but still yet fun. It's not a big, boring textbook that you're about to read about a product. It's a fun product, so the information must be presented in a fun way.
The next piece we chose to go with was a blow-in for a magazine. And you want to actually print it up in here. We chose to go with the blow-in because, I mean, even if you don't flip through it and you find it in the magazine, they fall out, people can pick it up, see it, they land everywhere.
Except you're.
Yeah, no, it's in here. If you blow it in, you probably shake the magazine and it'll fall out. But it is in here.
It is in there.
Did we shake it out already? There's one that didn't get.
We're all kinds of organized.
Anyways, this is what it would do, kind of blow out. Kind of blow out like that on the VR. Yeah. And we thought that'd be good because, like, laying around in doctor's offices, people pull them out and lay them on the tables, even in areas like that where more than just like people who normally read magazines would be able to, they'd have a chance to get it too.
Yes.
Well, it flew out like it's supposed to. Really good job blowing it in. I found it. I win.
Oh, it already blew out on the floor. Over here.
See, that was planned. I was paying attention.
And
Good job.
Good job.
You get the brownie points today.
Yeah. And this is one of the TV ads. You're gonna see in a series of. They're going here. There we go.
This would be day one. Mom walks in, hands the child a leaf pad. Oh, look, my leaf pad. She starts playing with it.
Daddy, can you send this up for me? Daddy!
No, not again. Learning has never been easier.
The whole point we're trying to emphasize with that is basically, with this learning system, I mean, there's really nothing out there for ages 3 to 5. And the whole point is basically, you could get some kind of, there's really nothing out there that's going to be able to reach this age group, and it's going to be this simple. And the whole point is, yeah, you could spend, $100 or, $50 on some kids program, but how many kids know how to start up the program, go here and here? And we're basically wanting to make this like it's hassle-free. You hand it to the kid, you walk it through them once and they're going to love it to death. Instead of booting up the computer, walking through the steps.
Come back later, restart it.
Yeah.
It's also something that's simplistic enough. They can do it on their own and they can learn on their own instead of having to have somebody there constantly with them. Kind of gives them a sense of self-confidence with the toy.
And our hidden message is that it's a small price for silence. As opposed to for those hyperactive kids.
And that one's kind of hidden in the type. It's not.
If you hold it up to a light, it kind of shines through like a watermark type thing. What's next?
Okay.
Try to keep it
flowing. Keep it flowing.
Flowing like our topic.
Exactly. This would be a mailer. And this would start here. I would just simply fold it up like this. You'd have the sticker logo to keep it together. Then you open it up and it starts off with my first leaf explaining what it does and how simple it is. And then it flips down and you have the product. And then the child playing with it. And so it goes through it letter by letter, word by word, and leave down at the bottom. Then you have the tag, and then we follow the dot all the way through. Then ending with, learning has never been easy. And here, to get your, yeah, it's just and when you're out shopping to get your parents that one last draw them in, you can have your cashiers, your workers wearing the My First Leap Pad button. Oh yeah, okay, that'd be really great for my kid. And we have a couple of those.
Yes. Typical mom with 3 or 5 years.
You want to know where she works, don't you, Steve?
Plenty of time to go shopping, find beautiful jewelry to match
Look at
that.
that jewelry.
Of course, she's gonna want to wear the button. But it's just gonna coordinate and accentuate, just, highlight. Next button.
It's another one with a different tagline, but the first one is better for learning something new every day. This is learning has never been easier. Just another way to grab the customer and parents before they leave, or as they're walking through the store, they'll see somebody wearing that.
And the 1, 2, 3 on that also kind of goes back to our thing of showing how it flows. Learning has never been easier. Easy as 1, 2, 3.
I think it's also.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Okay, on the commercial, we want to show how easy it is for the child to pick up. Yes. For the child to pick up and how to work this toy and how easy it is for them to play and learn at the same time. So, and the mom starts off with this toy, this complicated toy with a big old list of instructions. Frustrating mom.
Oh no, not another sheet of instructions! Let's see where we start.
Turn the knob. And sit over here. Let's see. Gotta go back. What page was I on? Japanese now. You heard it. There's so much. Okay, great. Wow, that was easy.
That was good.
My first leap pad.
Learning has never been easier.
And then next would be,
Oh, it's a minute? Okay, I guess I'll start from the TV commercial. It's 30 seconds, I'll walk you through it first. Basically, Fisher-Price is their competitor, but Fisher-Price doesn't have anything interactive for the ages of 3 to 5. I think they have like the big board, the big chalkboard, artboard kids can draw on. I'm pretty sure that's all they have that's would be considered educational for this kind of age group. Basically, they have nothing that's interactive, fun that the kids can pick up and learn. So what this will start off with, it'd have a girl sitting by one of those Fisher-Price boards, has a kind of confused look, and she goes up and she taps on it. She waits for a reaction from the board, nothing happens. So she taps it again and nothing happens, and she turns around, she's looking where the batteries are in the back, so maybe it's out of batteries. Turns it back around, she taps it again, it still doesn't work. And then she goes over, she picks up a leap pad, and immediately she's just drawn in, having the time for, or no, I'm sorry, the father figure.
A really good-looking father figure comes in. It's not me.
Also works in sales.
No, really, it's not me.
That's me.
Shows her how to work it, and then lets her go to town.
It's time for life, so we'll walk you through this one. Okay, she starts off with the board. She touches it, she's kind of waiting for reaction. Nothing's happened, she's kind of confused. She turns it around. Obviously there's no batteries. And so there's that good looking father figure right there. Immediately she takes off and she's just engulfed in this thing. She's learning all kinds of words and numbers. And then
Dad realizes, oh, she likes it.
I can't even buy more books. And it ends with that. Okay, next we have a couple different pieces to target for marketing and stuff like in the stores. We're trying to come up with a way that would reach the kids 3 to 5, but what kind of copy can you come up with to reach ages 3 to 5? So we were thinking our first idea was actually in every Walmart we would have clowns that would throw knives and spit fire. No, we actually tested this, and I'm sorry we didn't have the stuff ready this morning because David kept cutting himself and they were crying about the makeup, and so we had to switch to something else. So if you've ever been to the supermarket or at anywhere and you see anybody with like a 3 to 5-year-old, and 90% of the time the parent's walking like this. And the reason their hands switching is because they got the little kid on the other side going, over here, over here, over here. And the parent, they get in such a habit, they're just like, no, don't touch, not yours. And they just kind of block them out. So what we have is an aisle display, and this would be 4.5, 5 feet tall. It's basically just geared towards the kids, and the kids would be like, whoa, you know, their size, and it's tall enough for the parents. That's nice, isn't it? Oh. It's tall enough where the parents can actually like walk over and see on top of the stuff, and it'll have like two sections on it. I'll tell you what, let me pass this one around. I'll tell you what. Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, that'll be my example, and I'll pass that around. It's going to have 4 different sides, 2 like playful sides, and it'll have the Leap Pad system for the kids to come up there and play with. And if it's a booth that's like, you know, kid size and everything, it's just like inviting the kids to play. And the parent walks over to, you know, hey, come on. They're going to see, hey, this kid loves to sing. It's obviously educational. Yeah, it's good for them. And there'll also be pamphlets and stuff like that in there, information on the Leap Pad. And yeah, that's actually not life size. It will be small, but and also
my first pocket Leap Pad.
Yeah, the top part would also revolve on the top. You know, it's not going to be as drastic as your big blinking lights and sirens, but I think it would be just some movement would grab their attention. And then next we put together. Did I cover all that? Yeah. Okay. Move on. Next, this would sit in the aisle, in the toy aisle, and this would have a. Let me just pass this around. Probably get a whole lot easier. Oh, it's on a big screen. Never mind. Okay. This would be about 3.5 feet tall. It would mount on the side of shelves, and it'd have a little sensor that would come out. And as you can see right up here, it would have like pamphlets for the information. This wouldn't be so much for kids, maybe the character mounted up by their stuff, but what would happen is somebody would walk by, and the frog would say a catchphrase or something to grab their attention, something different every time. And then, you know, they would say, hey, Leap Pad. They see this whole just stack of Leap Pad learning stuff, and hey, a pamphlet's free, why not, you know, grab one on your way.
It was very far away from the Fisher Price Park.
Yeah. I was looking for the green product.
The Leap Pad are actually across from on the other side of the aisle.
So they look at the Leap Pad and go, oh.
But it would be the same on both sides, no matter which side you were on. So, whichever direction. But have some information on there, have these inviting pamphlets in there. And Dave, you want to get the pamphlets?
And the pamphlet that go inside of it would be this one here. Would have the same flowing type with the 1, 2, 3 showing, and the learning has never been easier, flowing down. Showing interaction with the parents, the children enjoying playing with it and being able to learn by themselves. And on the inside we would have general information about how it works and what all it does, exploring, learning, playing. Emphasis on some keywords like touch and hear to show interaction with the toy. And whenever it's folded up and placed in there, that's what it would look like.
That's a nice pen. I'm not just saying that because I'm in the group. That's a nice pen.
We also really tried to play off the leap and kind of make him like the Tony Tiger of Leapfrog too, so that it would pull the kids in and make him kind of like their main character, that they see Leap, they recognize him, so that's why he's not so much for the parents, you know. I'm sure that was hard to catch. But that way, we can pull the kids in with the visuals and get the parents through the ads and the copy and all that.
The booklets also have a stencil for the leapfrog tattoo for the parents.
Dedicated parents. But basically, I just went blank, never mind. Next.
Well, to play along with that, while the folks are shopping around Walmart, Target, and the other stores, we thought of what can we do to show the parents what your kid's gonna act like when they have this, kind of a test run, almost like a test drive type of deal. And what we came up with is a two-sided panel for a shopping cart, as my friend here was going to demonstrate. The panel, on the parent side, of course, we'll see an ad with tagline, "Nothing never been easier," and the website, showing them where to go to get more information for the product. But on the child side, which is a more important part, it's going to have a game, which basically, what it would be, 3 simple buttons: 1 red square, 1 red circle, 2 purple squares, 3 triangles. And when the child would press those buttons, it would say that. Say 1 red square, 2 purple, 1 red circle. See, I need to play with the leapfrog. 1 red circle.
You need to learn your shape. Got the color thing down.
And basically, as a parent goes walking along, and it fits in the middle, of course, a comfortable position when we all shop. It really kind of clutches in the middle. We kind of shoulder width apart, so that when you look down and look at your child, even if you decide not to look at it, subliminally, the corner of your eye is going to catch it, and the message will still get across. Okay, another ad concept that we play with on this is to show if it really is easier, is it better for your child? Well, of course it is, because if it's easier, he'll be able to grasp more, so he'll be able to develop faster. And so that was kind of a hard concept to really show how a child develops, not physically but mentally. But I think we might have captured it in this ad right here. Shows the parent, letting the child play with the leapfrog. Home and then, okay, we're gonna go for a ride. She's going to a little girl's birthday party, and she gets in the car, starts driving. She's like, oh no, where's Douglas Street? I was supposed to turn on Douglas Street. Oh, can't find it. Ah! Where's Douglas Street? Where's Douglas Street? As she keeps driving through, then she says, look, mommy, there's Douglas Street. Mom looks at the sign in amazement, says, I need to buy her more leapfrog books. Then we close that line.
My first leap pad.
Learning has never been easier.
Okay, now we're going to move to our outdoor media, and we really thought about this, where would you advertise to kids outdoors? So we thought our best solution was the bus, because this would be at their eye level while they're in the car, and as well as the parent too. So we really played off the little characters in here too to draw the kids in for fun, to show them how exciting it is to learn. And we went along with the same ABC and the learning's never been easier. And this is just to show some application on different buses, what it would look like. And then we have a couple of freestanding inserts, and this one would be for a newspaper. Went along again with the same type design, and then on the back, sort of a real fun product bulletin type with the frog jumping around, so that it's colorful and fun for the kids, and then obviously the type is for the parents. And then along the same lines for a magazine, where this would be stuck in like this, and you would see this on the front, and then open up to this, the same product bulletin, and then just have the simple back to bring you to the web page for more information. And then we came up with this totally original idea that nobody else thought of.
Floor stickers.
Floor stickers. We, like everyone else, else had trouble finding it, and we certainly don't want them to wander down the Fisher-Price aisle. So our goal was to pull out all the stops and whistles so we could get them to come to the Leap Pad or the Leapfrog aisle and see everything that Leapfrog has and just pass by the Fisher-Price. So these were designed to kind of be back and forth, and they have a different word on each one so that you have to really follow it and keep you entertained until you actually get there. And it says, hop this way if you want your child to learn in a fun way. And then the arrow just ties into our dotted line, and it sort of goes from cold to warm, like you're getting hotter, getting closer.
Just exactly how are you supposed to hop? It says hop this way.
See, that hasn't been determined. We're still doing studies on that.
Yeah, kids would figure that out.
I was going to say.
The numbers aren't in yet. They're still counting.
This is just the other advertisement that would go in the magazine. And then my TV commercial is ambidextrous. And I can't read. And use the mouse. Okay, all right. Seriously, I can't get it on. All right, okay. Basically what this is the mom introduces the Leap Pad to the child, and they kind of interact, and the child starts playing with it. She's learning and increasing her vocabulary and her awareness of everything around her. And so then she's sitting at the kitchen table playing with her Leap Pad, and her older sister sitting there coloring, and her older sister keeps switching hands. And so she takes notice of this and is like, well, I didn't know you were ambidextrous. And so basically, and then the mom's kind of like, whoa, where did that come from? So basically our point was to almost be absurd in a humorous way so that surely people wouldn't actually think that their child would be able to say ambidextrous after they use this toy. So, but we wanted to exaggerate the point of how easy it is and how they really do learn and get results from it. So. Okay, you're better. And the mom is just showing her how to use it, so showing interaction, and she's loving it. And now the sister's coloring. And by the way, this little girl really did say ambidextrous. So, and you have to listen real quiet to hear it.
I didn't know yet.
See?
So, and then here's the mom like, holy cow.
Did she just say that? What? Did she just say what I thought she said?
Yes.
But in a good way.
Yes. My first Leap Pad.
Learning has never been easier.
And just like everyone else, we tried to use the same last screen to tie everything in and to tie it into all of our ads and our whole campaign. So.
And playing off of that, we looked at some of the demographics and some of the numbers and some of the challenges that share with us about different people, different groups of people in the U.S. we wanted to sell to. And one thing that really sparked my interest is that being Latin American and having originally a different language, this would be a perfect tool for any child to learn. I had the advantage growing up that my parents were college educated in the States, and even though they spoke Spanish growing up, they also spoke English. So I was fortunate enough to learn both as growing up. And actually, Spanish is my strongest, is my first language, English is my second. Well, along those lines of thinking, we realized that this is not only a great learning tool for the regular 3 to 5-year-olds, but also the Latin American community who wants their kids to get a jump start on the better life that they are pursuing here in the United States. My family, and I can vouch as a personal experience, my family, when we first came to the States, that was an issue because even though my family spoke both, the schooling system didn't cater to teach both. It was one or the other. And one thing that, as we were toying around with ideas on this, is realize that this could be also a big closing thing, would be to be able to teach both at the same time. For example, we introduce one line in English and right below it is Spanish. The reason why I even suggest that is because Latin Americans, or Hispanics, as they're referred by demographics books and institutions, we're very passionate about our heritage and who we are. And one of the things that happens when people move to the States is because you have to assimilate and deal with all the regular life things, you start to forget some of your own language. And that's a challenge that second, third, fourth generation always face, and they wish they could do something about it. And they wish they could teach their kids from the beginning, but there really isn't a tool. So an idea that came along with that is to have a bilingual My First Leap Pad that would teach them both languages at the same time. To play off of that, we figured, well, if we're going to cater to people who want their kids to also learn Spanish, obviously they must have a certain feel for that. It must be an area that draws them in. So we have thought about having a companion campaign in Spanish. And we put out one magazine ad with very similar layout. So of course when you see it in Spanish, it automatically triggers what's going on with the campaign in English. And the text actually reads, letra por letra, mi first leap pad bilingual, enseñará a sus niños pasos básicos de matemática y lectura a través de un sistema interactivo educativo que expanderá sus mentes infinitamente. And then the closing line, which is just like it is in English, but it's actually a little bit more active and more aggressive. Aprender nunca ha sido tan fácil. Of course, learning has never been easy. And this is one example on that. Now, the thing about advertising to the Latin American community, you can't, or you can, but it's rarely acknowledged if you pick something that is so common knowledge that it's almost like, well, couldn't they come up with something better? Just because you take campaign in English and translate it to Spanish doesn't mean it's going to apply. Not only the wording and the phrasing, but the way you communicate the message. And one thing that we were thinking about is that actually a different approach would be probably more appropriate. An approach that was maybe a little bit more heartfelt for the TV campaigns and for the print campaign for Spanish. And along that, we came up with a concept for a commercial. And it plays on some of the facts that we found out about demographics, that families come to try have a better opportunity at a better life and give their children an opportunity to a better life. Well, part of that is education, and education plays a big key part of it. So what I'm about to show you is a commercial that would air, and this was going to have a voiceover in Spanish, but we started thinking, well, if we do the voiceover in Spanish, then we're going to have subtitles, and you're going to have to read pretty fast. So,
except for lips.
Right. So instead, I'm going to go ahead and play it through, and I'll explain kind of what the thought process was. You're going to see a young man who is sitting in his office at work, and all of a sudden he sees his picture of his parents that he has on his table, reinforcing his strong family values. Pulls it up and starts reminiscing about, Mom, Dad, I remember the hard time you guys had and all the sacrifices you made for us, and so we could have a better life. Now look at me, I've become a doctor, and now my kids are going to have a better life. And you know, I'm so grateful for that, and I realize that I need to do that. It's my chance, my turn to provide for someone else a better opportunity. And in that turn, he looks at his child who is playing with My First Leap Pad on the floor. And then the thought process continues, says, and that's why I'm going to continue purchasing toys, educational toys for my kids, like My First Leap Pad, to help them get that first jump on life, to help them get that first start. And this is what the commercial will be like. And see the doctor there at work in his office, his home office. He's working hard and looks at his photos. Of course, you know, the blonde hair, blue eye folks. A little bit of brown child, that brown gradient coming through. And then he realized, you know, I had the opportunity to provide my child with something better. And then there's the parent-child interaction there, where it's a little bit more heartfelt, more emotional than what maybe the English campaign was, but nevertheless would still close in with our little character here, Leap, kind of tying in the English campaign, also bringing it back to what the product is. And part of the reason to try and tie in both is you kind of don't want to separate too much, of course, because you want to offer the customer both. And even though we showed the tagline in English, for the commercial itself, it would be in Spanish, the one we have on the printed ads. At this time, I'd like to open it for any questions, because I'm sure you have tons of questions. Tons. Whys, who's.
Of course, since
I didn't know you were Hispanic. You didn't tell me.
Okay. So, you have any questions? I'm sure you're dying to ask. Any comments? None?
No.
Okay.
Of course, my first leap pad's so easy.
Oh,
I got a question. Do we have to keep our buttons?
no. Oh, yeah. You're right.
You're gonna take them to Saks Avenue and get them to wear them, right?
That's right.
They're starting a new trend.
That's a late pad, that Don.
Oh, thank you.
Dangling jewels.
That was not included in the, like, battery's not included?
Yeah.
Jewelry
Diamond
not
neck, that's
included.
Actually, the pen just improves your look that much.
Well, it really does.
I know the commercials were kind of short because we try to keep it in the format of 30 seconds to kind of bring it as close to what the real thing would be as possible. But did any of them go too fast that you'd like to see again to kind of go over, or maybe one of the concepts didn't quite make too much sense? Or is there one that you like the most?
You don't want to hear our voices again?
I was waiting for you to do the closing two taglines in Spanish.
Yeah. That's right.
I'll get back to you on that one.
I'm working on it.
Well, you want it?
Thank you very much.
This is-
Yours was good too.
Oh, yes.
You're good, Clay.
That's nice.
That's excellent.
What do you want to do now?
What, just real quickly, y'all's thoughts, I know we're running late, but if you've got some just general comments, each of you, to what you thought, did they